give you a little background as to why this is sitting here in front of me. It wasn't my intent, to be honest with you, and it's been a long, like, ridiculous process of mine, really my fault as to why it's here. But basically, this is a Anbernic RG556, and if you saw my earlier videos, I'm into like how to get the best bang for the buck. I've always been into retro gaming. I've been into RetroArch, Emulation Station, RetroPie, and that's really when I first started getting into it, as well as modding older consoles like the Wii, PS3, PS2, the Wii U, for example, and getting them tweaked to really the best that they can do. I just like it. I like resurrecting older things, including audio equipment, cars, and getting them working as optimally as possible with the least amount of money spent as possible, because you can make anything work for huge amounts of money. And for these, this is an RG505 and this is a 556. This is a new 3DS XL, and this is the DS Lite. And a lot of these have been like the kids, for example, and recycled. I have many others that I've fixed and I've recycled over the years and put together. I have a PSP over here, but I really don't play on them. That's really for collectors' reasons that I have those. I really just like working on them and getting them working, and working with modern SD cards and homebrew, etc., so forth. Now, I have been playing on the 3DS, and I haven't been playing games because arguably the 3DS is really the best way to play 3DS and DS games, and DS games over here with the DS Lite, although I do want to get a DSi or a DSi XL and try that out. Now, I originally wanted to get a Retroid Pocket 5 or even a Odin 2, but they're expensive. They're like $400, $500, and I'm like, I don't know. There is a budget. My channel's not monetized yet. I do this just out of fun, and I just wanted to see, okay, what can I get that still operates best and gives you the most bang for the buck with the least amount of money. And for example, this is the 505, and I bought this and put Gamma OS on it, and put various games that I've had on it, and it runs well. And I bought it from Goodwill. I bought it online from Goodwill. I think I bought it for $85, with another $10 shipping on top of it, and it works great. And I got a 512 gig SD card in it, and it works awesome all the way up to and PS2. Although there's some games on the PS2 that don't work quite right. You can feel it chugging, but a lot of PS2 games work, and anything under that, I would say Wii works really good, and in GameCube and Dreamcast, they work great, and anything under that. And then I started playing 3DS games, and this was my son's, and I modded it, and there's a whole video on that, and had to repair, well, I have a motherboard over here. That's a whole other video that I'll show you, or how to repair. I had to replace the motherboard, and the reason why is I broke it because I had to replace this top screen, which was an odyssey in itself, replacing this screen. But it works. It's there. It plays great. The 3D works wonderful on it. It's homebrewed and jailbroken, and it works wonderfully. And then, of course, I'm going to make a whole video on the DS Lite, because it's surprisingly put together and designed, and it works very, very well. But let's get you down to this, and this is kind of like an first turn on and unboxing of this, which is and there's going to be a series of videos on this. I was going to get a Steam Deck, and then I was thinking, oh, that's expensive, and then maybe I refurbish one. Then I started looking at the Odin 2 and the Retroid Pocket 5, and I'm like, all right, how about let's take it down a notch. Let's see what Anbernic has, since I'm already aware of how to work with the 505. And then I saw that Anbernic has the 557, and if you don't know, the first two numbers is the screen size, and then the third number is the chipset and the processor. So this is a 505, so it's a 5-inch screen, and it 5 is, I think it's the Unisoc T. I don't have any notes in front of me, but it's the T810 Android, and it runs on Android. So this is the 556, so 5.5 inches. And 6 is the Unisoc T810, which is supposed to be a little bit faster. And then the 7 is, and I have to look that up, but it's a whole nother chipset. But I wanted to focus on the 556, and what appealed to me was it was under $200 on Amazon, and I'm sure you can get it online for, I think on eBay I saw it for $180, $175, right, with shipping. So, and I wanted to get this on Amazon because if I didn't like it, it didn't feel good, I could always return it. And the nice thing about being a 556 is that the 5 and 6 generation, you can still put Gamma OS on it. And not that I don't like the stock operating system, but I like the Gamma OS operating system better. Yeah. So I'm going to try making a whole video on how to get all of my settings and games off of here and putting it onto here and using this as my primary system, other than this, the 3DS, and again, a whole nother video on the DS Lite. So that's the background why I have it. I actually bought it, and then I actually bought an Odin 2 and returned. Well, not returned it, but canceled the order. I bought a not the Odin 2. I bought the Retro Pocket 5 and then canceled it. Had second thoughts, like literally within hours. Went to go cancel this one, but it was too late, and so it was coming, and I'm like, all right, let's try using this. It is a cheaper system, but I'm familiar how this works. I was very impressed with how the 505 worked. Still suggest the 505, but this is a different form factor. You can see as the grips on it, and it should be my primary gaming system that I could use. And I sit outside in the back. I have a back deck with a fire table, and I like sitting back there and playing games just to decompress a little. So I kept it, and we'll see how it is. Pretty standard. Nothing else in the box, I don't believe. Maybe it has a cable. Yep, a couple. Screen protector. I wasn't expecting that. And this one came with 128 gig SD card. I'm gonna have to check that out a little bit later. So that's gonna be kind of neat. And is there a cable in here? Yes. This should be a USB-C cable. Yep, USB-C charging cable. All right, we'll fool with that later. Again, this is just a first impressions and unboxing video. We'll make a longer version video of this system a little bit later. Nice protector. Probably keep that actually. So, how's it feel? It feels and looks pretty good. I noticed, and I watch other channels, ETA Prime, Retro Game Core. I mean, and half a dozen other review sites for this and other videos, and they're great. They're all great. They have much more in-depth videos and how-tos, etc., so forth. This is more of a initial impressions. How does it feel without turning it on? Feels pretty good. It's got good feedback. I remember Retro Game Core. He said this is very, even though it's a kind of matte, it's more like a semi-matte, and it picks up fingerprints very, very easily. I could see that, but it doesn't bother me. Whatever, I'll clean it. So I'm comparing it to this, the 505, because this is going to be the primary driver. Let's get the SD card out, and we'll turn it on for the first time. Hopefully there's a charge, because if there isn't a charge, it's going to be in the video. How does this go in? Where is, there it is. Put the slot in. Oh, nope. The other way. Spring loaded. Oh, there it goes. That was my fingernail. Speakers. Audio jack. That's cool. Still using it. What's interesting about this is the 505, the USB jack has no HDMI or video out. This, it's only for charging, and this one does. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to be able to use this as a console gaming system on a big screen TV in the living room. So I want to get a dock for this and be able to just dock it and be able to play games over with a USB controller like this and be able to play it. That would be great. I would really want one system to rule them all, if you will. Let me fix the screen. There you go. One system to really control everything. And these are kind of, this one and this one is really kind of more specialized systems. All right, let's turn it on. First power on. Ooh, it's got haptic. Pretty bright. OLED screen. I don't have the stats in front of me, so that'll be for another video. This is wow, very bright. English. It's configuring the system. If I can turn this brightness down. Wow, it is. I'm in my office, and it's bright. As you can tell from the camera, it's kind of washed out, but I think this will do good for maybe not direct sunlight, but definitely outside. This would be fine. Oh, and by the way, going back to the USB port, you cannot do video out and charging at the same time. It's an either or, which is fine. I mean, apparently this has got such good battery life, especially if you're not playing, you know, like the Wii U games or 3DS games that take a lot of horsepower. This is hours and hours and hours of battery life. 50% configuring. If I can get it down and not wash out so much. Anyway, so but with AV out for under $200 shipped all in, I think that'll be great. Oh, and what else did I get? Which was case, hard case for it, and I think this was like $15 on Amazon. I'll see. I'll put a link up on the screen while that's configuring. Let's open this up and see how this looks. Again, my intent was to return this, and it's out behind me. What's the case look like? It's just a generic. It's not the one that the official one, but it's okay. I don't know what this. I guess the strap is to pull it out. Little strap to hold it down, and then for adapters, and I'll probably put headphones in here too. It's a good case because I wouldn't want to put this thing and just throw this into a backpack. I'm sure it would scrape the hell out of it, and I want to keep it in good condition if I'm going to keep this. I did order the AYN Thor. I think that's going to be my primary system for a long time. Show us a picture of that. It's a dual screen. I pre-ordered it. Who knows when that's going to come in? 30, 60 days. What, I don't know. But when I get that, it's going to be, it's the third tier up. I think I got the 12 core 8 gig version, not the highest level, but the second from the highest level. So that's going to be my primary driver. I spent money on that because that's just a nice system. It plays the 3DS games. It'll play the DS games very well, and it'll also play regular because it's got a nice OLED screen for the upper screen, and the second screen below you can dual multi-task. You could have email, you could have videos on the bottom playing while you're playing a game. I like the idea of having it being used for having it being used for walkthroughs, which I can appreciate. All right, full screen. Let's see if I can turn the brightness down. Let me look at the GoPro. Is that a little bit better? Okay. It is impressively bright, this screen, honestly. And again, this is first impressions. It's nice. It sounds well. It's all preload stuff. RetroArch already comes on this. Again, I'm gonna be putting Gamma OS on this anyway, but I'll play with it a little bit more. A lot of emulators on here. What else is on here? It's all system stuff. Gamepad tester. That's interesting. I like that. Turn this down a little bit more. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Triggers feel good. R2 and L2. R1, L2, and this is different from this one. Oh, by the way, I put a grip on this, and then I have a little on the back stand. It's really just a cell phone stand, just to help it. Otherwise, there's no way for it to stand up. So I put a little stand on the back, so it stands up naturally. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that with this one. As you can see, the L1 and R1 are kind of in standard places, but they're digital triggers here for L2 and R2. These are the analog sticks are not lighted. These are obviously lighted. Feel good. They're small, but feel good. I would say no different than, if not maybe exactly the same as a Switch joystick controllers. Feel good. Okay. I don't know what the sliders do. No, feels good. All right, so I'm going to play with this a little bit more, and then maybe the next video would be reflashing it to Gamma OS and trying that out, and we'll dig into it a little bit more. As you can tell, let's turn the screen back on again. Went to sleep. Whoop, hit it twice by accident. As you can see, the screen is larger here, significantly larger. And that's going to be interesting too, because I want to try 3DS games on here and see how it feels, because 3DS games, it comes up and usually it's either side by side, or I did a hybrid where it's the lower screen is small in the corner, and see how that works. All right, stay tuned, more to come.